Okay, this is the timeline. Wait, let me make sure. This is the timeline part 2. This is the movie. I'm going to watch it tonight, I think. This is the movie that could have changed everything if I had only realized that they weren't. Well, I like Kathleen Turner too. And William Hurt at the time. Back then, I know he was in a lot of movies. The one I remember him in is Altered States, really. Anyways, he played a good grumpy old man. So, yeah. This is a movie that could have changed events. If only I had known that Miss McIntosh, My Darling was not a fake book by Margaret Young that they put in the movie. Okay, so, podcasted. Miss McIntosh, My Darling. Found this book, met Paper Pills, who's an awesome book blogger too, and she was having an event, Angel in the Forest. Read and podcasted that. Harp Song for a Radical. Oh, I'm so sorry. I am podcasting it. I am on chapter 130. I have not finished. Paper Pills also did one. Paper Pills covered all of Young's books. Bravo to her. She's great. Yeah. I'm working on it. I know I'm behind. I know. And I told my daughter, you better take care of these because one of them I paid an ungodly amount of money for, and it may be worth something. This is Moderate Fable, and this is Prismatic Ground. So yeah, I spent an ungodly amount of money on one of these, and I don't even remember which one. And I also found Inviting the Muses. And also read this and used quite a bit of it in the next video. I'll talk about it. Okay, I'm jumping ahead a little bit because in, what year was this? If I can read it through here. What year? 2022. So in 2022, these wonderful people did the collected poems of Margaret Young, and they were actually went into her files and pulled out stuff that was in the Benecke Library. Is it Beinecke or Benecke? I don't know. Where is it? Anyways, they worked with Margaret Young. This was done while she was still alive, and it just took forever, I guess, for them to get it done. Which, I don't know. I've been publishing books forever. It's super easy. So they actually got to go in and find, like, all of her stuff. There she is. If you look on the internet, Alfredo Valentine, I guess, photographed her. They have a completely different woman that they're saying is Margaret Young. Maybe she's another author. I don't know. But I've seen that and been a little upset about it. So I'm like, come on. So the first poem that they got for her. Okay, I podcasted this too. So this is all on there. But the first poem that she ever did, also, who, if anybody knows, who is Mina Weisenbach? Alice Bidwell Weisenbach. Weisenberg. I'm trying to read this through the video. It's very hard. And Marilyn Morgan. Who's Marilyn Morgan? I don't know who these people are. I wish they would explain. Because that would, I think this is the first poem. So I believe the first poem she wrote was at age 9. There it is, written at age 9, I Heard a Bird. And all I can tell you is at age 9, she was already developing the philosophy that she would put in Miss McIntosh, My Darling. And my argument at the end of this parts video of all these different parts is that she had a whole philosophical system, and Miss McIntosh, My Darling is not a literary novel, it's literary philosophy, and it is a complete philosophical system that she developed. And the roots of it started at age 9. So I jumped ahead a little bit because, I don't put any publishing things in this. So Involutions of the Seashell was covering Miss McIntosh, My Darling. They're associated with the Dalkey Archive and Vellum Press. He also has another one, 3 Cent 3 Cent Podcast, something. But Chad W. Post, he has a lot of this stuff on there. So one of them asked if any of her poetry, because I had said I'd read all her work and commented, and they asked, did anybody go in and look at her, analyze her poetry with Miss McIntosh, My Darling? So I'm jumping ahead here, but yes, I did. And yes, this is why I kept going, because you can read her poetry and get into it. If you don't want to jump into a 1,200-page book, a 1,200-page literary philosophy system, I totally get it. You can do that here with her poetry. And so I wrote this and published this. That's a little bit out of sequence, though, so that didn't happen until later. First, I acquired all the books, and this could have changed the course of history. Okay, so now we will go to, because I didn't pull them out. We will go to. Oh, so then okay, I'll add that here. There was a blog, because again, I was always searching for Miss McIntosh, My Darling, and Margaret Young, and anything that would pop up. And so if there would be new review, I had Google alerts, so if there was ever a new review that popped up or anything, I would get it and talk to it. When Twitter was still good before it became shitter, I had a lot of fun there, and I got to talk to some really cool people. Surprisingly enough, Margaret Young people that knew about Margaret Young is one of the only social media outlets that you had people on there that knew about Margaret Young would talk about her. And so I got to have some really cool conversations. People wrote some, because of stuff that I was working on at the time, they asked questions. Sorry, I can't remember names and stuff. It's all in the Substack somewhere. Of course, there's like 800 posts. I have 100 more. I have 2. I have a lot of posts. So I still have a lot of posts that are coming out. They would take the information and run with it and do some stuff. And so there, for a little while there was like there was a handful of new reviews that came up. I think also because during the pandemic, there was jump into this really long literary novel. Like, you got nothing else to do when you're locked down. So why don't you just read this huge, gigantic book by Margaret Young, Miss McIntosh, My Darling? I thought that was kind of funny. But between that, and I just might have been in there at the right time, between that and myself, I got to have some really cool conversations with the people on Twitter. Very thankful for it. Kudos to y'all. I've shared out the reviews and stuff that were decent. So I've had other reviews just like, you didn't get this, did you? That's just a feeling I got. So by this time, I started to do a third reading of Miss McIntosh, My Darling. And by this time, I'm fully retired. I'm reading the book again. I've already read it twice. I'm reading the book again. And I decided to do something else, and that will be in the next video.